So 1989, I was 11 years old, and I was living in San Francisco in the North Beach district. I remember it very well because it was the World Series. It was the San Francisco Giants going up against the Oakland Athletics. So it was, they call it the Bay Bridge Series. Um, so everyone, if you were in anywhere near San Francisco or Oakland, you watched it. It was very popular. So, of course, 5 o'clock, me, my mom, and my brother, we sit down on the couch and we start watching the pre-show things and all that other stuff. So,
And during the quake of '89, it's hard to forget. It was my first day at my dream job, if you could have a dream job when you're 15. But it was to work at Park Lane Hosiery and Athletic Wear. And it was my first day on the job from 4 to 9. A little bit afterwards of working into my first shift, we started to notice that there was like a rumbling sound almost throughout the whole mall. And the store that I worked in had mannequins, like leg mannequins and torso mannequins with the athletic wear, with lots of mirrors behind it. And those things started to fall off and just shatter.
and then all of a sudden, the shaking got worse. And then I looked up at the wall, and all the pictures were going back and forth, and the lights started flickering, and the TV just went off, just completely off, like no electricity. And before I knew it, what felt like, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. It was actually probably less than that, but it was an earthquake, and it was very strong. And of course, we were living in an apartment on the third floor, so I looked out the window, and you can actually start seeing the buildings. From downtown San Francisco, you can actually see the big skyscrapers just going back and forth, swaying. And we freaked out, and luckily before that we had an earthquake procedures, and they told us at our school to, if you're ever in an earthquake situation, just go stand underneath a doorway.
They were composite mannequins. They were just falling. It was incredibly scary. Before I knew it, I think I just froze and it was over. And security started to come around to the stores and tell us that we were shutting down the mall and that we should go home. That's pretty much all I remember about the quake of '89.
We looked down the street, and some apartments, because San Francisco has a lot of apartments that are 3 stories. The first story was underground. Where the first story should be was the second, and then the third. So it was a mess. Unfortunately, there was nothing we could do because we didn't have any power on where I lived. Because we were in San Francisco. That's literally where it happened the most. So we just kind of waited, and we went to go see my dad that was working in North Beach, and he was just he obviously where he was working shut down, and afterwards we went and stayed with my aunt in Vallejo. That was a few hours away, so that helped out. But then once we started realizing that the game was off, and that everything was completely off because it was one of the biggest earthquakes in San Francisco history,